Hey everyone, so welcome to a new tutorial, and in this one we're gonna learn how to create a glass material. And this is gonna be a simple glass material which I have already created, as you can see here, but we're gonna create from scratch. So right click and click on material, and I'm gonna name it M underscore simple glass, and double click on it and open it. So the first thing we want to do is click on the material and change the blend mode from opaque to translucent, and also make this material two-sided. But as you can see, by doing that we lost a few attributes that we wish to use for this material. So in order to access those, we're going to click on a material and then scroll down to translucency and change the lighting mode to forward shading. This is gonna be expensive, but since for this tutorial we're just gonna keep it to forward shading. So now we got access to all our attributes. So let's just start adding first a glass color. So let's just begin by creating the glass color. So to do that, I'm gonna use a constant vector 3. You can also press the 3 on the notepad and left mouse click at the same time to get the same node. And let's just group it to color. That's gonna be our glass color. For now, let's just choose a nice light blue color and plug it into our base color. So we also want to adjust the base color strength or the color strength. So I'm going to use a scalar parameter, or just type it in the search. There you go. Color intensity. And I'm gonna intensity, and I'm gonna put it under the same group, but also I need to change it to 1 by default, and also multiply this with our glass color and then plug it to our base color like this. So now we have our glass color. We can also use a reroute node just to keep our node graph well organized and clear. There you go. Perfect. Now we have our base color ready, or the glass color ready. There you go. So the next thing we want is to have a metallic value. So to do that, I'm gonna use a constant variable. So right click and type constant and choose the constant variable and use the value 1 for metallic. Use the value 1 for metallic. There you go. And now we have added metallic to our material. For the roughness, I either can have only the scalar parameter, but I wish to have a texture just to add a bit variation in the roughness. So to do that, I'm going to use a texture sample like this, and also use a scalar parameter so that I can control the roughness value. So roughness, intensity, and then I'll just put them inside the group, roughness, and even the parameter to roughness. There you go. And I'm gonna multiply There you go. And then use a reroute node again. Roughness. And just use a texture for that. So for this example, I'm just gonna use the default noise texture, which is inside Unreal. So I'm gonna use this one. There you go. And we also need a texture coordinate so that the texture is tiling in U and V. There you go. And I'm gonna just connect it to our roughness. Perfect. Sweet. Now we have roughness, we have metallic, and also have a base color. I'm just gonna go ahead and save. There you go. Now we also need to set our opacity, which is also the transparency for glass. So I'm going to use a scalar parameter, and by default I'm going to leave the value to something around probably 0.5 and plug it to our opacity like this. So there you go. Now we also have opacity, and it does look like a glass material now. I'm going to go ahead and save. There you go, it's saved. And last but not the least, I would want to use the refraction value, as every glass has a refraction value, which is also known as index of refraction. So to activate that, we need to scroll under details, navigate to refraction, and change it to index of refraction from none. And then I'm going to use a scalar parameter and name it IOR, and then set a value of 1 and connect it to the refraction index. Sweet. Now we have a simple glass material. I'm gonna just go and frame this and name it roughness. This way, and there you go. We have created a glass material, and let's just go ahead and apply this to our camera. But first we need to create an instance like this, and I'm gonna name it mi camera, let's just say glass, and we need to activate all the values. But before that, let's just place the material and apply it to our camera lens. For now it's blue, but don't worry, we're gonna change the values and make it look like actual glass. Let's make it a bit white and darken the color a bit, probably somewhere there. And now let me just play with some other values here, like probably the intensity is a bit more. I'm going to try to reduce that just slightly. Yep, somewhere there. And also the IOR maybe, oh that's too much. It's probably somewhere there is a decent value. And I'm gonna also play around with the opacity just to see what suits well. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, does looks like a lens to me. Just playing around with the roughness. As you can see, the roughness texture that we have used is actually working quite well, and yeah, I wish to leave it somewhere there. Now let me just drag the camera prop in the scene just to see how it looks. Maybe I might just tweak the values a bit more. Yep, that's about it. So in the next lesson, we'll make an advanced glass material. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye.